Put us live.
Welcome to bonus content.
It's me, shaboy. Bonus content. That's I don't want that up. That'll be a problem.
Now with 70% more boners.
Yep. Finally, 100% boners. Sorry,
What I was
everyone.
going to do without them.
To video viewers for skipping bonus content this week. Apologies. It's a later in the week show. And I've had a long weekend. But I'm here. We're making the podcast happen. What day is it? The 27th? Man, we really are close. 2 days. Technically a day, because Nabish, I know you got that shit digital. Not waiting for anything. You kidding me? Cool. It is Sunday, July. I looked and saw the J in the upper right corner of my computer screen. I was like, yeah, it's July. That's the only J month. It is Sunday, January 27th, 2019, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I'm your host, Alex O'Neill, and joining me this week, as always, Scott Gauthier.
Hello.
Tony Horvath.
Hello.
And Brian Nabishin Jackson.
Did I do that?
You've used that one. You had to have used that one before.
No, I have not done that.
Oh, no, I did not do that.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he hasn't.
No, I would inflect my voice into it, but like it's like nah, because like
It's too
like,
easy.
For context, like I bought a game 4 times, and I just wanted to say it.
That's several times.
You did do that. Did your hi, real quick. Hey everyone, welcome to Irrational Passions podcast. It's 2 days before Kingdom Hearts 3. This is the last episode before Kingdom Hearts 3, which is great. The cool thing, this podcast will be going out
alive.
Yeah, I'm still alive. Great thing. We made bets a long time ago, but I made it, y'all. I mean, I guess there's still a couple of days left, but they're gonna be safe. I'm gonna be playing it the most safe of my whole life. After Friday, I got injured on Friday. I was like, no, I can't. Last podcast before Kingdom Hearts 3, blah, blah. Namishin, did your PlayStation thing get canceled? Your console?
No, I guess I guess I can get to the weeds about that. So the only way you can pre-order for content, like we're talking about the Kingdom Hearts limited edition console that you can only get. The only place you can get in the US is at GameStop. And all GameStops pretty much nationwide only maybe got like 2 or 3 per store, I would assume. Yeah, it was definitely around that amount. So like when it went live,
they didn't know that ahead of time, I guess.
Yeah. And when it went live on the store online, it's like just opened the floodgates and everyone pre-ordered it. I missed that chance. I was seeing that I could get it. Like, no, I couldn't get it at all. So it's like, okay, that's a bummer. But then like I saw that like obviously like I could get it in Japan, so I pretty much imported it, and I paid an extra $100 for that. But with that extra $100, it ensured me that I will get it the day of release. So
okay,
and actually get the console. So instead of getting canceled at the last minute. So like when I say I bought a game 4 times, I bought Kingdom Hearts 3 4 times because I bought it digitally. I got the that super deluxe edition that you get from the Square Enix store. I got one coming in from Amazon that I pre-ordered the day of.
Mm-hmm. You and me both, yeah.
Yeah, and now I got a digital copy. So
yeah, and I have it twice, once digitally, once the pre-order. I will say that we will give I will give my copy away of Kingdom Hearts 3 on the show, which is cool. We'll figure that out probably next week or something. But yeah, my brother, his console got canceled, so which I was super bummed for him because he literally sold his PlayStation earlier this week, and he's on vacation with my dad this weekend, and he doesn't get back until Monday night. So he's just got to figure out. And he had like a regular PS4, so he was finally upgrading to a PS4 Pro. My older brother's the one that got me into Kingdom Hearts. Like, if anyone is a bigger Kingdom Hearts fan than me in my life, say for you, like Nabishin and our friends, it would be my brother. I'm very bummed out for him. So I was going to ask you, like, if you knew anywhere he might be able to get one, but
Japan, I did.
yeah, I'll tell him about Japan, the whole country, you know.
Hey, by the way, do you know about Japan?
You heard about Japan because they got some consoles.
Seriously, want me to link you? It's Amazon Japan. It's easy.
Can you text it to me, and I'll text it to him during the show. I'm sure he'd really appreciate it. But what's cool is, assuming everything goes according to plan, future me listening to this podcast right now, editing this show to put it out on Tuesday, is playing Kingdom Hearts, which is cool. In this one timeline future, this version of me is hours into Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I've never really taken off work for a game, and it was just kind of like I needed a vacation. I wanted a staycation, taking off a week. I'm gonna buy Monster Energy drinks and start ordering pizza. I feel like a real gamer boy, which is exciting. But yeah, I'm optimistic that I'll be able to finish that game at least twice before I go back to work. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, this is it. We're not really going to talk about Kingdom Hearts this episode. We got a couple of tertiarily related Kingdom Hearts questions, but I just want everyone to know, Scott, Nabishin, and I are very excited. Originally tonight, Scott, Tony, and I were going to hang out to play the Kingdom Hearts thing, but we couldn't because of this podcast. But it worked out. It's all right. We'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. This is it. The world will be different next podcast. This
will be the same
for some of us. Tony's gonna be like, yeah, I mean, I played some more Sea of Thieves, y'all. Like, what do you want?
I just won't be here.
I would love for you to be. We do have a guest for next week that I'm excited about. Too. It's Andrew Cogswell, which
they've replaced me already.
Oh, why would you torture Andrew like that?
Because I wanted to. Well, he has a very difficult schedule, so he's just gonna have to deal with it.
Oh man!
I told him in advance. I was like, hey, just after this date, it's gonna be rough. But he was still down. So, no, Tony, you'll be here. You'll maybe I like the idea of us doing like a post credits Kingdom Hearts talk, kind of like Korra talk in the past. So maybe we'll do something like that to save Tony from torture. But let's get into the podcast. Irrational Passions podcast. We got some video games we want to talk about. We didn't do bonus content this week, so no real warm up like we normally have. Couple of little bits of housekeeping. If you're unfamiliar, Irrational Passions podcast is a product of irrationalpassions.com. And if you check irrationalpassions.com, you'll see a little redesign, a little update to the visual style of the website. Little updo. Get that new year, new you look, glow up. Not a lot of huge differences, but I spent like all last weekend just kind of sitting down, working on the site, smoothing some things out. We were in like full Game of the Year mode, so the front page was like all Game of the Year content. So we have ended that. All of our Game of the Year content is still up there. I would highly recommend it if you like Game of the Year. If you didn't get the chance to check it out, you should go check it out because we worked really hard on a lot of it. All of it. Excuse me, I would argue. I showed my mom the Game of the Year video.
Mom, look at my Game of the Year video.
And she was like, oh.
Mom!
That's exactly what I sounded like at the time, too.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
And she thought it was cool. I showed my friends, my roommates, and they were like, this is cool, man. It looks real. I was like, I know. So I thought that was cool. But we got some cool stuff up on the website that I'd like for you to check out. Scott White, Professor RPG himself, got an early copy of Etrian Odyssey Nexus, and he did a nice little preview stream for it this week on Twitch, twitch.tv/Irrational Passions. And there's an archive of it on our YouTube channel, where you can watch the video version of this show, for example. And some other cool stuff on YouTube as well. Highly recommend checking that out. The first episode of Raccoon City Radio is up. It's on the website as well. Andrew Taylor, that's his podcast that I co-host with him, where we're going to be playing through Resident Evil 2 Remake, which we'll be talking about in just a little bit. And just kind of getting more in depth on that show. It's like a 6-episode mini-series podcast where we're going to be going through like each major chapter of the 2 campaigns, starting with Leon's campaign. So if you want to play along with us, it should be fun. Andrew and I are both pretty new to Resident Evil. Andrew obviously newer than me, but even I had not really played any of the originals. So we're both really excited. And we've been texting about the next episode that we're going to be recording this week, and we're both very excited. So, cool thing, and there's a video review of Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, which, again, we'll also probably be talking about in a moment with you, Nabashin, from Mike Burgess. Great video review. We've created new video assets for our video reviews, so it looks very different. We have still working on some newer components to that, but we're working on some video projects that are coming up that I'm really excited about, y'all. So if you don't subscribe to us on YouTube, you should get on that. And then a couple of big features went up. One, there's an update to Pillars of Eternity 2 that makes the combat fully turn-based. And Jarrett Green, who reviewed the game for us, sat down with that. And the title of his feature is Turn-Based Combat in Pillars 2 Makes a Good Game Better. And he sat down and gave some really great details on how that system really revitalizes that game in a cool way. And the big feature, finally went up on the website. This has literally been in the works for 4 months. Quentin Hoffman wrote the feature reviewing the Telltale situation. It is a breakdown from his perspective, with his opinion in there, of the situation surrounding Telltale Games and kind of what led to it, how it happens, what happened afterwards, and what the state of it is now. It is a feature he has been working on for 4 months since Telltale closed in September. If you're unfamiliar with the situation, it's a great way to kind of catch yourself up on it. It's excellently well written. Everyone on the editorial team is super proud of it. We've all kind of had our hands in it at different points, with some help from some outside voices as well. And Quinn is really proud of it. He told me he was like emotional when he was like hitting the publish button to schedule it and everything of this thing he's been like literally working on for months and months and months. And I think it's excellent. If you are a big fan of written features, I would say you should check it out. And just check out irrationalpassions.com. It looks great. The few little updates to the front page and all that went a long way to make the site look great, I think. So, I think that's it. Otherwise, we've got the first episode of our Ori and the Blind Forest book club going up soon, I think this coming week. And Scott White made these amazing, like, looking back on Kingdom Hearts videos that are going to start going up tomorrow, Monday. So they'll already be out by the time you hear the audio version of this. Just like these kind of like emotional stories from myself, him, Mike Burgess, Matt from the limited edition Kingdom Hearts podcast that I've been a part of, and Ian from OK Beast. Nice little collaborative project. And it's just like Scott made all the visuals for it, and I think it looks great. And he sent me like the conclusion of it, and it really touches on, for me personally, like how much that series means, and why it matters so much. And you know, it's obviously been a part of our lives since we were all children, pretty much. So he touches on that really well. I think you'll dig it a lot, Nabashin. So check those out. That's also going to be on youtube.com/irrationalpassions. And that is the end of housekeeping. Let's talk about video games. Nabashin, you played video games, a lot of video games, I assume, in 2 weeks. And
That's not true.
Is it? Have you not played a lot? Are you just like saving yourself for this vacation that you're about to take?
I mean, I'm already on it, but
Oh, true. Okay, yeah, you're on it. I'm not yet. But you didn't get to talk about your games last week. So what you been playing?
I have to actually think about it because I didn't get a chance to write it down.
Yeah, I didn't have time to make the doc. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Like other than like so I'm trying to think what I played recently. Oh yeah, okay. I can now remember. Okay. So like the thing I want to talk about last week was me going through the No More Heroes games again.
Yeah.
Like the entire series. Well, more or less. I haven't finished Travis Strikes Back, but like yeah. Because like it was like not necessarily like an experimental thing. Like it's just to see like how this still sticks with me after like so many years. But also like just like a refresher of the series, like and have an excuse to play like No More Heroes 2 again, which I haven't played in literal years. Um, but like I'm always like for the first No More Heroes, I've always attested that to like one of my favorite games of all time. Just because I played it so much when I played it on the Wii. I remember importing the PS3 version that got ported, which was like not that great of a port for a lot of reasons. Like the load times were just terrible in that game and all that other stuff. But like it visually looked a lot cleaner and slicker and stuff like that. So like I was really into it at the time. And then like when it came to America, um, I just remember playing like up to like maybe like the fourth boss fight, and then I stopped. Um, just never finished it. And so like I just pretty much just like went back to that and just like started from the beginning again, just to remind myself. And like my main takeaway is like the PS3 version is a bad port. You should not play that version. Just not at all. It's just not really all that great. But at the end of the day, though, like I love the story. I love the characters. I love the gameplay. Even though I wasn't playing it the right way. Because I like No More Heroes is like really one of the only games where motion controls make the most sense. And was like the most fun playing it that way because like it's a very repetitive game as far as like the enemies you go against and like the world's not even all that fleshed out and stuff like that. As far as like the open world, when you go from like one place to another, but like there's just like so much satisfaction with just like Travis as a character himself and like him going against these interesting bosses and like um just interacting with the game and just looking at the game is like it's so much it's like eye candy. It's just so good as far as that. And like as far as the motion controls, like there's really isn't really much to it as far as like on the Wii version, except like you use your slash up, your slash down, for like a final hit, or like you do like you just like move your direction with your Wiimote and your nunchuck to a certain direction just to do like a wrestling move. But like that felt like so is weirdly like really intuitive with that game, like more than like any other like Wii game I played with motion or any other motion game really. Whereas like it's part of the game, but it's not necessarily part of the game. And it's like because it's just like it just adds a little to it and it immerses you more into the game. I just really enjoy those games a lot. And sure they don't hold up in the modern sense, like all the women are like exploited or whatever, but like that game just still does really just jives with me like all the way around. Like I just love playing No More Heroes. Like it's such a great game.
It's funny because like I played No More Heroes 1. That was a GameFly game for me, to take it back a little bit. And I remember like I feel like the part of the game that no one ever talks about is like the little mini city area that you can kind of roam around and do odd jobs in.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like you get the motorcycle riding around. I think there's like a mini game where you like have to pick up coconuts or something.
Yes.
I did that. I'm like, what do you do in this game? And I stopped playing. I was young at the time, but like, is there a way to just go from mission to mission to mission, or do you have to do like odd jobs in between them? Right? You have to like
it's odd jobs in between. Like you're earning money to actually do the next boss fight essentially.
Yeah.
And like it's part of the theme of that game where it's just like you're going from the bottom to the top and you're working your way towards it. There's a lot of like this hidden meanings in like this like just overall just like a whole hidden like undertone. That's the word I'm looking for that game, which is just like it could be like one of those things where like people overanalyze it or whatever, but like people go deep dive into like what No More Heroes means, especially No More Heroes 2. Like I remember there was a Destructoid article about it. No More Heroes 2 is specifically that like blew my mind. It's like, oh my god, like this is so deep and type of shit like that. So, but yeah, No More Heroes 1, that game holds up. It's amazing. It's amazing then, it's amazing now for me. No More Heroes 2, that was a game I really liked, but like there's like this like fundamental just problems with that game just in general. Not really in a necessarily an unfinished way, but more of like, well, maybe in an unfinished way, because like there's just certain things that are just off and weird about that game. Just like in the whole total package. Like if you just boil it down to like the characters and like the boss fights, it's still like up there. It's still like up to where No More Heroes is. It doesn't go above it like in any stretch of the imagination, I feel like, at all compared to No More Heroes 1. But No More Heroes 2 is great in its own right as far as that. But like there's just like certain things where like you're going to a mission and then like there's no music playing. And it's not like no music playing for like a good while, like almost like you're just like fighting guys for like up to like 10 to 15 minutes and there's no music
just
playing.
Dead silence.
Yeah, there's dead silence, and you just hear just like you just hear the loop of like the enemy characters, and it's just like nah. And then it's like there's certain boss fights like I would say probably up to like maybe 2 or 3 of them that are just like just straight up just terrible. There's a boss fight where like one, it's an early boss fight too. Like one of the first boss fights in that game is like you go against a football player and it gets to go against his cheerleaders as well, and they form to a giant mech, and then you go into a giant mech and you do a boss fight against him. It's like, oh, this is awesome! Like the setup for it and like everything up to that point was awesome, but then you start playing that part and it's so slow and clunky, and it's like this like it's supposed to be like this big epic scene, but it's like it just controls terribly. Overall though, like the gameplay for that game is good as far as like the in a general sense, but like that special section was just off, and like and there's just certain boss battles that are just not bad, or as far as like when you're doing your regular combat are just bad too. Like like literally one like the most frustrating things of that game is like you're going against the final boss in his second form. Literally just his second form. His first form is much of nothing. You just gotta know how to do it. His last form is really nothing either. You can just pretty much spam it and you'll get through it. It's just like his second form is like it's just so impossible. It's so stupid how it is, because it's like he does moves that like it's really hard for you to like do anything against, and then like there's a whole section of the wall in that game where it's like if you get blown that way, you're just automatically dead, no matter like how much you have as far as life or anything like that. So like he just knocks you that way, you're just automatically dead. So you have to like maintain like staying against like a certain like the other 3/4 of the wall, and also like fighting him while he does his overpowered bullshit. It was terrible, dude. Like I remembered it. Like as far as like me doing it this time, I got beaten maybe on my 5th try. So I got past that part of my 5th try. So like that was not really that much of a problem, because like I live in an era of YouTube where it's like, how the fuck did I beat this boss? Okay, easy. All right. And like I just remembered that not being great at all. And like I said, like that was back in like I think 2010, where like like putting up whole gameplays wasn't really that much of a thing.
Yeah.
So that was me figuring out and just dying constantly, and I died so many times. I couldn't. It took literally forever, because like I love the game. I still love the game, but like, and I was like determined not to like move on until I beat him. And like it literally took forever. It maybe took an entire day. I'm not even joking, like, because I had to beat it. And I did eventually. But yeah, No More Heroes 2 has like a lot of just like structural problems, but overall it's still like a great game, I feel. not a great game. It's still a good game. That like doesn't live up to the first game, but like still has its own right and still has its own je ne sais quoi to it. That's what I really want to say about No More Heroes 2. Like there's still something about it that's like I'm still enamored with it and I still really like about it. Though it's very problematic.
I feel like that's like half of Grasshopper's games though.
Maybe. Maybe. Like
am I like just like unfolding the because I feel like I don't know if Shadows of the Dam is problematic. I think it's just dumb, right? So I wouldn't necessarily put that into it. But Lollipop Chainsaw, I don't know, man. I've not played Lollipop Chainsaw, so I can't really speak to it.
I played Lollipop Chainsaw. That game was like nothing. That's
it's just forgettable. Like that's the most incriminating thing about it, right? So
yeah, the thing about Shadows of the Dam is probably like just not okay in today's standards. Like it's basically just a Mexican stereotype from beginning to end. So like, nah.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of it from that perspective.
Yeah, I think it was Steve Bloom who voiced him too. So,
yeah.
Steve Bloom is 100% a white dude. So
yeah, a little whitewashy, but I don't know. I think it's funny because like I always put in my mind I put Grasshopper and Platinum in like the same camp, but I think obviously they're very different. I don't know why I put them together. I have a tendency to like bundle Suda and what's his face from Platinum in my head a lot.
Hideki Kamiya.
Kamiya, yeah. And I have no idea why. Maybe it's just because you were like the cheerleader, I think, for both of those studios in a big way. But I like obviously I think Grasshopper struggles with mechanics and gameplay more, but they know how to be silly and over the top in a really fun way.
Sure.
Platinum has it kind of more figured out just in general.
Yeah, like if you were to like compare the two, like I would definitely say like Platinum, or I would say Grasshopper is more style over substance, and like Platinum, it meets that middle in a good way.
Yes, that's a really great way to put it. Because like you think about Vanquished, even like an earlier Platinum game, and it's like this is style meets substance in like the way that you would want it to be done. And then the fallback is it's like 6 hours long.
Right.
But whatever. I like games don't have to be long to be great. So. But what about Travis Strikes Again?
That game just overall was just a bummer. It's just not really all that great in general. Like pretty much anything that I've liked about the old No More Heroes games is just like not present in that game, because obviously it's a spinoff in a different type of game, but like at the same time you still have No More Heroes in the title and have Travis in there, so it's like I expected a little bit more as far as like the combat and stuff like that, because I pretty much went to it blind more or less. Like I've seen like screenshots and I've seen gameplay of it, like I was thinking it was just that section, and I hope it would be fleshed out later on. Or it's like there's a little bit more to it, and there's more to it. There's stuff to it, and it's like there's stuff to that game, but overall, it's just like if you had like no, I guess, baggage with No More Heroes as a series that you played before, like there's nothing in this game that like even remotely stands out for you to actually play. Mm-hmm. Like I wouldn't recommend this game to you, Alex, at all, because like you barely played the first game, and like there's no real thing about it that's like that can get you in really, except like maybe that you can just wear a Hollow Knight shirt and that's about it.
Nice. All right.
But yeah, like it's just a bummer. And
yeah.
There's nothing really to it, honestly. Like the music's good, and like I like the style of it, obviously, but like you talk about like the most like boring gameplay that you've seen in like a good while is just like, nah, it's just not there. Like like how Hebrew always says Enslaved Odyssey to the West is like the definition of a 7 out of 10, where it's just like a game that's like it's really good, but like there's problems, and like it's it's a very middling game, but like there's still like something to it. Like this for me is like what a 6 out of 10 would be,
or a 6.5
like,
on irrationalpassion.com.
Yeah, like just somewhere around there. Just like it's definitely below a 7, but it's not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could play through the game just fine, everything like that, but like there's nothing really there at the same time. It's a very weird game. It's very much the feeling of like this is something that didn't really need to exist in a weird way, but like they teased No More Heroes 3 at the end, so
of course, which I think is like a thing that can and should happen. I would love to see like a modern No More Heroes, quote unquote. Yeah. Not that No More Heroes was ever really modern, but
yeah, like they got my money, so like if it funds that game, so I that's more than enough for me. That's my equivalent to Kickstarter. I'll buy your not so great game so I can have my actual game in the future.
You listen, Swery, I'm here for you. I don't know, man. Like Mike said, because talking to Mike about it while we were like editing his review and stuff, he said like there's some stuff in there that's just wild and great for people that love No More Heroes, because he also loves No More Heroes. Mm-hmm. I was gonna try and get him on this show to talk about it with you, but like references and silly things, fourth wall breaky things, it sounded like, I don't know for sure, that were great. So it sounds like there's great stuff in there. It's just like surrounded by middling things, which is a bummer. Have you seen anything that you've like that's really hit you, or has it all been kind of middle of the road for you?
It's all kind of middle of the road. Like the most, like the only reason I'm kind of like even really sticking with it is just like knowing like just it's been like a few years since the end of No More Heroes 2. I know how No More Heroes 2 ends, so like just like where is everybody? How's Travis's life? Why is he here? And like all this other stuff. Why did he leave Santa to destroy? And there's a little context to that. So like there's that, but like there's nothing really like standing out for that game.
I do love because Justin Graffius is in our live chat, and I love that everyone refers to it as Travis Strikes Back when the name is Travis Strikes Again. I think it's fun because I think that's the bit, like that's the joke, and also it kind of has like an Empire Strikes Back kind of look to the text on it.
There's also a mode in that game we call Travis Strikes Back. So
okay,
that's why I got confused.
Yeah, they're in on the joke. I think it's funny. I think that's funny. It's cool. I mean, like Nintendo backed this in like a big way, too. Like this was like officially one of their Nindies. Like it was in their booth at like PAX and E3 and stuff. Like Nintendo fully backed this whole game in a way that is kind of surprising but kind of cool. So I think there's hope for No More Heroes 3. But yeah, I understand that the game also makes references to how middling it is, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, it's never a good thing. That's such a 2010 thing.
Yeah, it's the most turret sequence thing.
Very much so, because like remember like that became uncool after Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Yes,
that was the last game that really did it.
That's the
really
last game it was okay to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, I'm with you. That's a bummer. I'm sad for you. But oh well. Have you been playing anything else?
That's Resident Evil.
Okay. I know you played Onimusha as well. I don't know if you had anything you wanted to say about that.
Nothing to really add to it. I just really enjoy it.
Okay.
It's a PS2 game, and like it's a game I never played.
Yeah, I never played it either.
So I'm just enjoying it as like there's nothing more PS2 than that game. Honestly, just straight up.
Yeah, Scott, do you know which one you played?
No.
Yeah, Warlords was the first one. That's all I know. Were there three? Three
There's
Onimusha?
4.
Okay. Damn. I made a lot of those. Does Onimusha Warlords have a great anime opening, or is that 2?
That is 3.
Okay. I've heard infamous things from the Easy Allies about the opening of one of those games, so I gotta look it up at some time.
It's the one where the French actor is in. I know it's that particular one. And
okay.
I believe that's Onimusha 3.
Okay, I'll have to look it up. Cool. We'll talk about Resident Evil in a little bit, I figure. Once we loop back around to me, because that game's great. Scott Guthier, have you been playing any video games?
The only thing of note would be Dungeon of the Endless.
What the fuck is that?
Pretty sick video game.
Talked about it on here before.
Have we Dungeon of Gandalus?
The Endless.
Endless.
Oh. Dungeon of the Endless. Let me look this up. Have we talked about this?
Absolutely. It's the almost FTL game.
I'm trying to.
So you're trapped.
I remember
on a
that.
ship.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, you're trapped on a ship. You gotta go up. I think it's 13 levels.
Oh, okay. I'm
And then
getting
what you
flashbacks
can
now.
Tell people which floor to man. You gotta build stuff on your floors.
Cool.
After every door you open, you get. And that's essentially time passing, so you get resources, and then monsters also spawn in the rooms that are unlit. You have to get dust to light each room. Every 10 dust is an extra room you can light.
This game came out in 2014. Is there any particular reason why it came up again, or you just?
They put out 65% off essentially all games made by that studio. So at this point, everybody else got it.
Oh, okay.
Too. So it's a 4-player game, so we've just been playing it now.
Cool. Are you rolling with Tony? Other folks?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Tony and the guys you were seeing in the Discord.
Cool. Speaking of the Discord, if that's all you've been playing, Scott, we can transition right into Tony and I playing fucking Sea of Thieves together.
Yeah, we did.
We played Sea of Thieves into the wee hours of the evening last Saturday, and so we got you, Tony, your friend Jay, right? That was his name, and Justin Graffius and myself, onto a pirate ship. I don't know what they call it.
The one that we were on was Galleon. There were 4 of us. Yeah, we were on Galleon.
And we played a lot of Sea of Thieves. We played for 3 or 4 hours.
Oh yeah, dude. We completed. We did a lot of shit right at.
Yeah, we did a lot.
Yeah. We started playing. We started sailing. We attacked. We're attacked by another ship.
Mm-hmm.
And then we sank the other ship. Meanwhile, did we fight a Kraken in there too? I know there was a Megalodon.
No, a Megalodon sank our ship. And then we kind of started and actually started doing our quest. And then
so we defeated the other ship. They sank, and then right after, since we had no materials, the Megalodon bit us, and we ended up
just wrecked us. And it was a thing where I fell off the boat because I was dumb. And I was like, there are so many sharks here. There's 30 sharks right now. And you're like, oh, that's because there's this one Megalodon that spawns a bunch of sharks, and then I just see a giant shark, and I was like, oh, this is my worst fear, being eaten whole alive right now.
Yeah, dude.
Luckily, I was ripped to smaller pieces by the little sharks and not eaten entirely. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was fun kind of getting back into it. I'll say because it was a big thing that we talked about while we were playing. A lot of stuff was just completely different from when I played, and I was really impressed with. It was almost like a completely different game since the last time I had played. There was new sections to the map. The inventory system was totally redone. If you were to go up to a barrel that had stuff in it, you would click on it and it would open the barrel as a menu, and you would see multiple items in the barrel, which was not a thing before. Before it was you go up and it would hover over your mouse or reticle or whatever and say this barrel has 8 cannonballs in it, and now it goes into a full inventory thing where you can kind of fill up your inventory or put multiple things, put different kinds of things in crates and carrying stuff. That was a big thing. The shooting feels a little different, feels better, feels more accurate than it was before. Things like that. So I was really impressed. I was into it. I had a good time. I don't know if it's a thing that I would put as much time as you into, Tony, exclaiming that you would put like over 200 hours into it in 2 weeks. I don't know if I could ever do that. But I still had a great time. It was fun playing video games with you again, Tony.
Hell yeah, dude.
Has
200
anything?
hours in 2 weeks, though, by the way, a slight exaggeration because it's almost not possible.
It's almost not possible. You'd have to sleep at some point.
At least a little bit.
But yeah, has anything new happened since we played Sea of Thieves?
It's kind of a more of the same as far as Sea of Thieves goes. I've kind of, so I've maxed out all my reputations at this point and gotten kind of like the big goal of the game done, which is to achieve Pirate Legend.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, we still play, and we're just kind of going through and doing whatever we want at this point because there's no need to like hardcore grind for the rep at this point.
Yeah.
So it's like go in there, sail around, get some fucking money, and that's it. Fucking have a good time.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what the game has always been, you know.
Yeah.
It's just now I can basically just do whatever the other people in my crew want to do, and I'm down to take care of all that. So
yeah, and like there are things like they've added. Obviously, like the random encounters in the just sailing around are a big part of it. I appreciate that. Ghost ships, like we got attacked by a ghost ship at one point, multiple times actually. That was not a thing when I played the game, right? Like, so ghost ships essentially act as like NPC enemy ships so that way the ocean feels a little bit more full, right? There's more stuff going on, and there are calm waters versus more dangerous waters. So if you were not looking to be attacked constantly, like there's a place for you to go in that world. Which I think is cool, but things can happen, right? We didn't get attacked by a kraken, which was kind of a bummer. I wanted to see what that looked like.
Yeah.
Even though the entire time we were playing, I was like, "Please, God, do not attack us," because I was like so stressed out. I was like, "We only got 10 planks left. All right, if the ship breaks, we're fucked." But I'll say like the biggest thing, playing on a galleon, it's like a completely different game. It's way cooler being on a big boat
Hell yeah.
versus being on a sloop. I think the sloop is cool because it's designed really smart for two people to operate, but all the different stuff in the galleon, like all the different rooms, like it felt like a big thing that we could travel around on, and I thought that was really cool. It kind of scratched this itch that I really wanted Star Citizen to scratch, but that game will never actually exist. Of like going around in space, being on a spaceship, and having like a crew, like the Normandy, right? Like this is our ship. Like I'm the gunman, I'm the navigator, I'm the pilot, I'm the driver, whatever. You know, everyone kind of has a role that they settle into, and you have like a section of the ship that you have to take care of and cultivate, and everyone is kind of held to some level of equal responsibility. The question I had after we had finished playing, Tony, is there any way to like, obviously it's all kind of instanced out, but if you manage to get like 8 players in the same chat and in the same server, could you get 8 people on a boat and have them run it together?
I mean, so you can jump on another crew's boat and do everything that you can do on your ship. The only difference is if you die, you don't respawn on.
Yeah.
So technically, yeah, if you manage to get like 2 full crews to alliance together, the other crew could just jump onto your ship, and as long as they never die, you're good to go.
Yeah.
But there's no like in-game mechanic to like switch to have 8 people on one ship.
That'd be so cool, though.
I think there's definitely room for them to add like an 8-player ship into the game. I don't know how a sloop would do against a like a fucking man of war.
But like that's awesome.
But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like the difficulty of getting 8 people together to play that game together and like be on chat together and coordinate, kind of like a Destiny raid. You get to win. All right, you get to be a horror of the seas. Like imagine rolling with a pirate crew of 8 and really like working and making that mechanic work and doing all the little things to make everything run smooth.
Yeah, that would definitely be pretty cool.
Yeah, I that is like now my dream. If we can make that happen, Tony, we should. But yeah, I don't know. I had a great time. It was, as always, like Tony is a great teacher as far as like onboarding you onto a game, even at the top. Like me coming in, not playing in 6 or 9 months, and it's like, all right, we're gonna do the hardest thing you can do in this game. It's like, all right, I guess let's go. But we still had a good time, and Justin had a good time too, even though he was playing on his crappy laptop and running at like 2 frames per second. But yeah, it was fun. Did you have a good time, Tony?
Hell yeah, man. Always.
Yeah. Have you been playing anything else?
Other than just like Magic the Gathering Arena, and Dungeon of the Endless with Scott, and League of Legends new season started. But other than that, no, it's pretty much it, man.
I saw friend of the show, Logan Moore, tweeted out that League of Legends new season started, and like just right away he hated League of Legends again. Is that the same sentiment, or are you having a good time?
I don't really think I echo that now.
Okay. Are the mid-season changes they made to League carrying over, or did they make more changes when the season started? Or between season, I should say, changes that they made.
They've made some more changes.
Is Aurelion Sol still good?
He's actually way better now.
Nice. Are you wrecking
so
shop?
I've been doing pretty decent. I've only played a couple games. I played. This is weird because you get match made and ranked based on position now instead of just one overarching like rating for your entire account. So I've gotten through like 5 games and I've won 4 of them. So that's pretty good.
Okay, that is good.
Yeah.
Cool. I played some video games. I played Sea of Thieves, as previously mentioned. I'm trying to think anything outside the big stuff. I got a great. There was like a Twitter thing going around of like, what are 4 games that make you happy, to play. You know, I was thinking about that. The 4 that I put out there were Spelunky, because I just love playing that game. Yoshi's Woolly World, because that game makes me smile ear to ear every time I play it. Persona 4 Golden, of course, and the other one, and I was thinking about it more and more, is Stardew Valley. And I just want to say I appreciate Tony and Scott, more specifically Tony, because he got us all into it, for getting me into that game. I'm on my 5th now major start from scratch playthrough of that game, on 4th on Switch. It's like another 40-ish hours of like a totally new farm and everything. And I just love that game. It's very therapeutic for me. It's been a very good game to go back to again and again, just because I don't have to think that much when I'm playing it, but in game I can set like these very short-term, very attainable goals, and I can reach them, and it's satisfactory to do so, and it feels great to play. Like it's just a jolly game that makes me smile, makes me happy. It's probably one of my favorite games ever at this point. Like, the more I think about it, and the amount of time I put into it, I adore that game. Like it's obviously been made a lot better with updates and things like that. So maybe kind of the first time I played it, some of the things weren't quite clicking, but the kind of current modern version of that game, I just really, really like. And all the stuff they've added is very, very good. But yeah, just like starting fresh and being like, all right, I want to lay my farm out like this, and I want to make sure I get to like the level 3 coop by this point, and I want to have like pigs and these farm animals by this time, and yada, yada, yada. And I just love it. Yeah, it makes me very happy to play. The other thing I've been playing, I did not get a lot of time to play it, unfortunately, because I had to fly off to Florida to do a little mini vacation with my mom, which was very fun. Got to see Hamilton in person live. One of few lucky folks that have gotten to do that at this point, and it's very good. But I played Resident Evil 2, which you've also been playing, Nabashin. I want to know your thoughts on it, Nabashin, because you had played the original, correct?
No.
You've never played 2?
Never played 2.
You had played 1, though, right? I'm not crazy in that? Okay.
Yeah, one's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah. You never jumped into 2. Was there any reason that you never got into 2?
No. I don't know. I've never played 2. Never played 3.
I don't think I'm
Never-
ever gonna fuck with 3. To be fair.
Never really got into 4. Even though I bought it multiple times, I just never really played it for myself. And
that's a bummer.
5 is something was one of my favorite games of the Resident Evils. And 6 I haven't really gotten into either. Though I've just seen a video where I think I actually do want to play that game a lot. Just to be like this for reasons I'm not going into here. And 7 I beat.
Okay. Because obviously I came in at 4, and then played 5, skipped 6, love 7. Never ever touched any of the originals. I've tried multiple times to get into 1 remake, and I like it. I just don't like playing it. Maybe if I played it on easy, I'd be able to blast through it. Just to say I've played it, the game is, some of the aspects of it are particularly frustrating for me. But yeah, I would say most people regard 2 as the best of the original 3, and 0 and Code Veronica. But I had never touched it, so I'm totally new to this. I didn't know. I assumed that you had seen it at least played through Namashin, but if you're going in blind, what do you think of 2 so far? I don't know how deep you are into it, so.
I don't know. I actually don't know how deep I am into it.
Did you get through the statue?
Yeah.
Okay. I got through the statue and then stopped, just for your reference as to how far I am.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about it? I assume you're playing Leon first.
Yeah, just to see the canonical way first before I do the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm playing Leon first, but I'm also playing Claire at the same time because Katie wanted to see that game, but obviously she's not going to play it. So so I was going to do since the canon for Resident Evil 2 is Leon A and Claire B. I'll play that for myself, and when I play around Katie, that would be around that would be Claire A and Leon B. So it'll work out.
Yeah, I don't know how the A and B stuff works. I guess so. When you beat the A campaign, which is just the first run through with either character, you unlock the B campaign with the other character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I've heard obviously stories about how that works and something about leaving a thing in a locker, but I don't really know how that works. So I know next to nothing about Resident Evil 2, which is cool because I don't know how the story goes. I think I know how it ends because they reference it in other games, but I don't. Yeah, I don't really know what to expect. So it's been fun kind of going through it. How do you feel about how it plays and how it looks and all that?
When I was playing through it, and yeah, when I was really getting really deep into it, I texted my brother, which I and kind of recommended him this game because I never do that with him, at least, because we all have our different tastes, and I know what kind of games he like. He's more of a mainstream person, so it's fine. But I text him hey, you should probably get this because is this really reminiscent of when we played Resident Evil 1 for the first time. And it's kind of how we remember playing that game, and in so many ways it's really weird how it does feel like playing that PlayStation 1 game again for the time. All pretty much all the the technical stuff that that's impressing us now is what we had, me and my brother had for on PlayStation 1 when we played that game back then, the first one. So it just feels like that again, just for modern consoles. So that's why I recommended him. He's like, okay. So I'm excited to see how he's getting to it.
Yeah, that's cool. Because I feel like you don't necessarily recommend your brother a lot of games, right?
No.
Get him way deep into Kingdom Hearts, finally ruin him as a person. That's cool.
I reject that thought. Kingdom Hearts makes you whole as a person.
I agree, Scott. I'm just kidding. Tony doesn't agree, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's because he's not a whole person.
He's heartless.
You totally missed the super cute thing Scott said.
Oh.
He said he's not a whole person. He needs me.
Oh my god, that is really cute, actually. Somebody write that down in titles. Yeah, so I'll say like I committed to Resident Evil 2. I was like, all right, I'm ready to get scared. I put on headphones, get everything set up, it's dark in my studio den down here to play it, and so I played through. I would say, according to my save state, I have an hour and like 11 minutes in it, because I was moving a little bit faster than I wanted to, because there's like that guy Marvin. I was like, I don't want you to die. And I feel like if I take too long here, you're just going to eat it before I kind of go through this first main objective, which is getting the 3 things and going through the statue. But yeah, I've been really impressed with it. I mean, one, it looks great. It runs great. There's weird stuff about it. And I'll if you want to hear me like get really into like beat by beat the things that stood out to me, I would recommend listening to Raccoon City Radio, because it's going to be kind of more of my outlet for talking about that game. But there's like some frame pacing stuff. Like, I know I shouldn't have watched the fucking Digital Foundry thing. It ruined me. But like when things are past a certain field of view, like a certain distance away from you, it runs at half frame rate, and it's just very visible that like, so like if a zombie is like, I would say 15 feet away from you, its animations are all at half frames or like a quarter frames. I don't know. It looks very weirdly choppy, where the rest of the game is mostly 60 FPS. And also like that Digital Foundry video specifically highlighted how like the reflections look weird if you look at them kind of too closely. There's like some weird like texturization of them. It's probably not a word, but outside of that, and it got a little framey at one point, because I think the frame rate is unlocked. I don't think it's actually locked to 60, but outside of like those very small technical things aside, like I think it looks very, very good. I think the voice acting and everything is really cool. It's cool because like it seems like everything that you would like about an old Resident Evil game, but it's a modern video game. And they just like, there aren't horror games like this really anymore. I feel like modern horror games have fallen so deep into the trap of like what Outlast and Amnesia created, of like helpless horror. I don't know what you would call the genre, but games where you can't fight back. Obviously Evil Within 2 did a lot of great stuff, and I really like that game. And I'm a more recent taker to horror games. But I feel like if you want like a genuinely scary game, the Outlasts, the kind of games like that, they're all games where you are intentionally helpless. And I think that's just kind of worn its welcome out with me. So something where you can shoot a gun, you can kill enemies, and you can fight back is cool. Obviously, there's the tyrant stuff in this game, which I haven't gotten to at all. I haven't seen the tyrant yet, Mr. X, but who you can't kill. But I don't know. I think it's really cool how the game is like, you like, for example, you shoot a zombie in the head and it doesn't kill it, right? It just keeps coming at you. But if you like critical hit it and its head explodes, it's like, okay, I know this is dead. But you have to, zombies will fall over and like pretend to be dead, basically. But then if you walk over them, they'll come back up and grab your legs or something like that. So like you can like shoot a zombie enough for it to fall down with the full understanding that it will get back up again, and kind of leave it for now, and kind of still maneuver around, and you can take risks, you can play it more safe, you can do a lot of things to increase your survivability or increase the limited resources that you have. And I think like just exploring that environment is so fun. It's very like Metroidvania-y, which is something that I was like playing Resident Evil 7, and I was like, man, this game is like kind of like a Metroid game, and it's going back and getting stuff to unlock new doors and et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, man, this is what old Resident Evil was like, huh? I should check those games out. So like having a very modern iteration of that is really satisfying. But yeah, I'm liking it a lot. Are you enjoying your time with it, Namashin?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I think Logan Wilkinson is reviewing it for us, and he's given me like a couple of updates on it, but I don't know if he likes it or not, but I think he's having a good time with it. It is just like, for me playing it, it's just an undeniably very good video game. Like it just feels very good. It looks very good, plays well. So I'm excited to put more time into it, and obviously I'll be talking about it pretty extensively with the good boy Andrew Taylor, who he texted me. I texted him multiple times about it, just like, hey, like, I haven't been able to play this weekend. Like, what's your update? And he's like pretty deep into it, and he got to like the first stopping point. He's like, you'll know when you get there. But he's like, I'm obsessed with this game. I commissioned an artist that I know to make a Leon art piece. Somebody send help. It's like, hell yeah, this is great. I love that this game is connected with you so much. So it's been cool. You guys want to take a quick break?
Sure.
And we can take a break. We got some questions. We got some news, some cool NPD stuff that I want to talk about a little bit. And then we can answer some questions, make some bets, and throw the show out. So we will do all of that in just a little bit when we come back from this break. Cool.
News in gaming.
Let's talk about some news. Little bits of news from this week. First thing that I wanted to talk about, I'm kind of, in a way, I'm not surprised, but it happened, and here we are. So Nintendo put out a statement earlier this week, a little video statement too. It was all very unorthodox just for video games, especially I feel Japanese video game development in general. It was about Metroid Prime 4. For folks who don't know, Metroid Prime 4 was announced at E3 2017, so almost 2 years ago, for the Nintendo Switch. First Metroid game announced, I'm trying to think, outside of, Samus Returns was technically announced directly after this, but the first Metroid game announced since Metroid Other M, which was generally shat upon, and at the very least, I would say has not aged well. So the kind of last major game in this like very well-regarded franchise has left a poor taste in a lot of people's mouths. So there was a lot of anticipation in Metroid Prime 4. It's a sequel to Prime 3 and the Prime series that Retro...
Are we not counting Federation Force?
We don't count Federation Force, no.
Okay.
Don't you dare ask that question on this podcast. But there was a lot of hype into it, and we're 2 years later, assuming Metroid Prime 4 would come out this year. Nintendo put out a video, and I'm just gonna read the quote. It was from, let's see, Shinya Takahashi, who is I'm trying to think who managing executive officer at Nintendo, MEO. He says the current development progress has not reached the standards we seek in a sequel to the Metroid Prime series. Nintendo always strives for the highest quality in our games, and in the development phase, we challenge ourselves to confront whether the game is living up to the quality on a daily basis, which is true. It's something that has been talked about in Iwata Asks, the old series that Iwata ran, and also like there's been like great little documentary series like about Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, where like, for example, in Breath of the Wild, they would stop and play the full game at multiple times during development and then come back with notes and be like, all right, this worked, this didn't, et cetera, et cetera. So Nintendo has a very particular process for game development. Takahashi continued, we've decided to re-examine the development structure itself and change it. Specifically, we have asked the producer Kensuke Tanabe, apologies, Mr. Tanabe, for ruining your name, to work in trust and collaboration with the studio that developed the original Metroid Prime series, Retro Studios in the United States, and restart development from the beginning. By collaborating and developing with Retro Studios, we believe we can make this game something that will meet our fans' expectations. We did not make this decision lightly. This change will essentially mean restarting development from the beginning, so the completion of the game will be delayed from our initial internal plan. We strongly recognize this delay will come as a disappointment to many fans who have been looking forward to the launch of Metroid Prime 4, which was pretty much the whole thing of like, hey, we're sorry that we had to do this. The kind of tweet I sent out after this news came out, and again, Nintendo just dropped this. My feelings are like, hey, this sucks, right? Like, I think it sucks anytime a game is delayed, but obviously the hope is that it results in a better game. I think the only way they are going to make the best Metroid Prime 4 that they can make is having Retro involved. And it doesn't sound like they're doing all of the development, but it does sound like they're going to be a big part of it at least. I would hope, kind of inferring from reading between the lines of the statement, but also this is just very transparent. It's just honest, and it feels like we are finding out like when Nintendo is kind of making the decision versus like through a Kotaku article like 3 months after, right? Like this is the kind of story that Kotaku would find out about in post and would be like, oh, that sounds crazy. I wonder if that's true. And now it's like directly from the source. Like Nintendo's like, hey, we're essentially canceling this game and restarting it with a new studio. And so that sucks, but like we want you to know, and we don't want people sitting around thinking like, where did Metroid Prime 4 go? Is the development like being haunted, et cetera, et cetera. It's like this probably is exactly what happened with Crackdown, but when that happened with Crackdown, we never found out. That game just disappeared, right? And I think that's cool. I think that's I was just so surprised that Nintendo of all companies was the one that kind of put themselves out there about this. What did you think of this, Nobishin, when you heard about it?
Yeah, I was fine with it. Like, even if you think about the way they even unveiled the game, it was kind of like just letting you know, like, hey, we're actually going to do this thing, just acknowledging that, like, hey, this is something that you can expect in the future. Not exactly giving you a date, but like, hey, we're starting to work on this now, and like, now that they hit a stumbling block with it, just more of just like being open and honest about it. And like, obviously, like the reception for the most part has been positive about it, as far as like, oh, thank you for at least letting me know that I shouldn't expect this anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's not something I should wait on bated breath. And like the next time you will show it, like you're probably going to show something that like, blow my socks off. So like, I think it's good for like a fan thing type of thing. Like if you compare it to like something like like with Square with Final Fantasy 7 right now, it's just like
yes, exactly.
It's just something that people like. I don't like the mentality of it, like, oh, the thing doesn't exist. Like I don't think I just don't like the negativity about it. But like at the same time, it's well deserved. Like they put themselves in that position to like to announce something and to just like not say anything about it. Like there's no real reason to be that secretive about something that like you announced like what 5 years ago now. I don't even know how long ago. I'm just exaggerating the number, but like
2015, right? It was announced alongside Kingdom Hearts 3. So no,
that was
2015. Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced 2013.
2013, you're right. So it was 2015, but it was not announced alongside Kingdom Hearts 3. But yeah, they announced that at E3 and then showed gameplay at PSX that year. Like, man, it's from what I understand, like the story that's come out so far of just like secondary sources and whatnot is essentially the same thing happened to the Final Fantasy VII remake of like CyberConnect was kind of developing a lot of it and Square Enix was doing some of it, and then they canceled and scrapped everything CyberConnect made and then moved the game in-house under an internal studio and started from scratch, which is, again, none of that is confirmed, but it is on pretty solid sources that is likely what has happened. Plus, like, when they, after the CyberConnect stuff, but before it had changed development to internal, like, they had said, like, we're going to do it episodic. And it's like, what is going on? And that, I think, is no longer the case, but they still haven't kind of said one way or the other about that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think Nintendo, I've been saying over like the last year, is like full of shrewd moves. I think like this is exactly a response to stuff like that. Of like, we saw what happened with Final Fantasy VII. We saw what's happened with, like, this happened multiple times with Final Fantasy 15. I found out, like, if you the Did You Know Gaming guys do a lot of great videos of stuff. This happened with Persona 5 as well. Like, there was an original version of that game that ended up getting scrapped when they started getting development. It wasn't like, it was very much scrapped in pre-production versus in full production. So it's not an uncommon thing. I think it's uncommon for it to happen deeper into development. But like, there's a way to, like, Persona 5 was smart enough to, like, we're just not going to announce this game until it's closer, and they still probably announced that game too early. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's a good way of going about this and a bad way of going about it, and I feel like this is just the best way to do it. Because that information, I feel, is going to get out one way or the other. Maybe, I mean, it's Nintendo. Maybe not. They're very good at keeping secrets. Scott, do you think this is like more or less frustrating for fans?
As opposed to waiting forever and never hearing anything,
Mm-hmm.
less.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now, ideally, the game would be out. However, what would generally happen is they would get away with it for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
But then someone would go back and think, hey, I need to write a story. Whatever happened to Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah, I think too. It helps that that's where we're at right now too. If like they announced it in 2017, and it's been a whole last year, like, and here we are again in 2019 now, and we haven't heard a damn thing about it. So I feel like somebody was probably starting to dig up their sources and be like, "Hey, we haven't heard from this game in a while. What's going on?" And just Nintendo jumped the gun and was like, "All right, let's just talk about what's going on. Let's just be honest." Tony, do you think Metroid Prime 4 will be good? Knowing how things have kind of shaken out. I'll take that as a yes. A strong, silent yes.
I think the real question now is, I guess that Star Fox game, if that's really
Star Fox Grand Prix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing people have brought up of like what is going on with Retro's game. Which was rumored to be Star Fox Grand Prix. Oh, Jesus. Star Fox Grand Prix. Don't write that down in titles. Don't you dare. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. My thing is the wording of this is very careful to make me think that part of Retro is going to help with this game, but they're going to continue with the project that they were working on. I don't think they're in complete control of development of this, which is good and bad, but I think the big reason why Nintendo didn't go to them from the get-go was that they were probably working on their own thing. But I don't know. That's just me speculating, but in my opinion, Retro is just very talented, and they could like the only two games that they've really made, right, are the Metroid Prime games and Donkey Kong Country Returns. And they're just like such wildly different games, but I think in their own regards, like they're both very, very good. Like a first-person shooter versus a 2D platformer. I think they're both like just outstanding in their own way, in their own genres. So I think you could kind of give Retro whatever, and they would be okay. We've lost Tony now. Tony's officially gone.
Rip Tony.
Rip Tony. I bet he's probably having some network woes. The other big,
he was a Heartless,
or he's a Heartless. There you go. Nobody's, huh? Kingdom Hearts. It all comes back. Now that Tony's gone, can I ask you guys a question? And like, here's the thing. I don't. Y'all know.
Should we cut Tony from the podcast?
No.
Like, I know where this is going. It's gone.
It's Kingdom Hearts related. I just didn't want to torture him.
Okay.
I don't love to speculate, but like this is going to be the last time the three of us get to speculate about Kingdom Hearts at all. So I want to do maybe a little bit, just a little sprinkle.
I mean, like, will it though?
I mean, like before it comes out, like speculate. We'll be able to speculate
You mean about Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
I took that as in Kingdom Hearts period.
Yeah. There will be more Kingdom Hearts, I'm sure. But do you guys think there's going to be like a new enemy type? And if there is, like, what would it be? Like the it's your butt when your heart gets stolen and your body gets stolen, your butt is left. and
I think we're gonna find out what happens when a Heartless and a Nobody merges.
Ooh, I like that. Do you think so, Nabishin?
I don't think so.
Okay. They certainly have enough.
Yeah,
I mean, like that's kind of the point at where it looked like it was going.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Because you can merge with the original self, but what happens when the Nobody merges with the Heartless?
Yeah, like the evil parts come together. I don't know. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a type of enemy like Heartless and Nobody, like the Dusks, but more of like maybe a theme of a few boss fights.
Yeah. And that could be cool too. I imagine like the symbols like on the forehead like merging together. That could be cool. What were you gonna say, Nabishin?
I Yeah, I just I don't really think so. Like I think they still have enough. I think there's still like the 3 enemy types with that nobody's heartless and the unversed.
Unversed,
So
yeah. Bring it
um
back.
I think that's probably enough.
Yeah, that's probably enough. It's the thing I've been thinking about.
Then again, they brought in Dream Eater, so who the fuck knows
Yeah.
anymore?
I feel like maybe they know that they don't need to add like a whole new enemy thing. Like I feel like they had to add those into like the little side games because of the circumstances, like lore wise, where they took place. Of like the Birth by Sleep is like kind of before the Heartless. Like the Heartless exist, but people don't know about them yet. So they're unversed, I guess. Just fake Heartless. Like here's some fucking knockoff. Here's some Walmart brand Heartless for you. And similar with Dream Drop Distance of like, well, we're not in the real world, so we're in the dream world. You fight nightmares. It's like, all right, I guess, whatever. I'm really excited, you guys. Are you? Because I like it. I'm at like the perfect excitement point. I'm not overhyped, right? I recognize that there are probably. Oh, Tony's back. We can't talk about Kingdom Hearts anymore. Sorry, Tony. I got all the Kingdom Hearts talk out. I promise.
I don't know what happened there. I'm here.
Tony, do you think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be good?
I said this already. I have a mediocre stance on the subject. I think that the game will come out and be just.
Okay. We couldn't hear you. I guess it might cut out.
Oh, that was wow. Okay, then I was fucking disconnected for a while.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
See,
like almost 5 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to me, I've been disconnected for about 3.5 minutes.
Okay, yeah. We lost you.
Because I heard you the entire time, but I guess you guys weren't getting anything back from
So
me.
you got that entire part. So now that since Tony's gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this whole conversation I thought I was having because you seemed to be responding to me. I guess it's all fucking good.
Sorry, Tony. Next time I'll start screaming, Tony, are you there? Are you there, Tony? Snake! All right, the other news story that I pulled is NPDs, my favorite. I'm going to see if I can send this big list to you, Scott, on Discord, because that might be fun. Matt this time I'm pulling NPDs directly from the source. For the most part, Matt Piscatella, who's like the NPD guy, he will tweet out all the information that you would need NPD wise, and just like post on Twitter. But like also, like shout out to him on Twitter just in general, because he has like some really great insight and commentary on the NPDs. He doesn't just like throw out what's going on. He will say like, hey, this is what this means, or here is like what it means, like when this is the best selling, or industry side things of like, you know, for example, October this year over year was like way higher in software sales because Call of Duty was in October versus November. It's like November was down still because Call of Duty was taken out of that month. Things like that. But Scott, I just dropped in there for you the top 20 best-selling video games from December. If you want to start from number 10 and read up, I would love it.
Start from number 10.
Mm-hmm. It's there. I know it's like there's a big space between them.
You see, I'm happy about some of the things that are below number 10.
Oh, do you want to start from number 20? We can do that if you like.
Yeah, we can leave them out.
Okay.
All right.
Wait,
number 10, Marvel Spider-Man.
We're gonna say Nobishin real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
When Fallout 76 came out in November, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you what? Why do you ask?
No, I thought that was the launch month. That would have shocked the hell out of me. Just because of. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
You're
Forget
good.
it.
You're good. Go ahead, Scott.
All right. At number 9, we have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu.
Mm-hmm.
At number 8, we have Super Mario Party. At number 7, we have Madden NFL 19. At number 8, we have Mario Kart 8. At number 5, we have NBA 2K19.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, we have Battlefield 5. At number 3, we have Call of Duty Black Ops 4. At number 2, we have Red Dead Redemption 2. And at number 1, we got Smash.
Smash Brothers Ultimate, yeah.
We got Smash.
So what's cool here? So
Yeah, but like the really cool thing about this list is that Grand Theft Auto 5 is at number 17.
yeah, still in there, but it's
Not-
much lower.
Not in the top 10.
Yeah, which is surprising. I would probably credit that mostly to Red Dead for kind of. I feel like they have a similar audience, although GTA 5's reach is insurmountable. So Nintendo games, Super Mario Party, Pokemon Let's Go, and Smash Ultimate and Mario Kart, all in that top 10. Does not include digital sales, so that's all physical only. And there's like a little carrot next to Madden, Battlefield, and Call of Duty 4. Black Ops 4. I don't know. I forget what that means.
They went up, I guess.
Maybe. So the best-selling games for the year, so 2018 January to December total, is also pretty cool. So number 10 on that list is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Number 9 is Monster Hunter World. Number 8 is God of War. Number 7 is Far Cry 5. Number 6 is Marvel Spider-Man. Number 5 is Smash Bros. Ultimate. Again, not including digital sales, and only in 1 month of the year. Keep that in mind. Number 4 is Madden NFL 19. Number 3 is NBA. Number 2 is Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And number 1 is Red Dead 2, which is pretty impressive that obviously Red Dead did that in 2 months, but also more so Red Dead outsold for the year Call of Duty, which is crazy. That never happens. World War II, Call of Duty World War II was the best-selling video game of last year. And I feel like Destiny 2 was high up on that list as well. I think that was like number 2 or 3. So typically Activision dominates the kind of tops of the charts. So a couple other interesting things. So the number 1 hardware platform for 2018 as a whole was the Nintendo Switch. Outsold PS4 and Xbox One. Let me see if I can find the tweet about this, because Piscadella does a lot of like year-over-year versus. Here's one. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the best-selling game of December 2018 and instantly the 5th best-selling game of 2018 in general, despite not tracking digital sales. Package software launch month dollar sales of Smash Bros. Ultimate exceeded those of the previous best in the franchise by over 70%. And Smash Bros. Ultimate sets a new launch month dollar sales record for a platform-exclusive video game ever in video game history, exceeding the launch month dollar sales of Halo Reach, which was the best first month platform exclusive ever before. So it's been 8 years since that number has been toppled. Blah, blah. Let's see. Call of Duty. Mario Kart 8 is the second best-selling racing game of all time, trailing only Mario Kart Wii in lifetime dollar sales, which is kind of crazy too. Console hardware sales drove growth for PlayStation 4, Plug and Play, Switch, and Xbox. Nintendo Switch generated the highest December month hardware dollar sales for a single platform since the Nintendo Wii in December of 2009, and achieved the highest December unit sales for a single platform since December 2010, which is crazy. The Switch ends 2018 as the year's best-selling hardware platform in both units and dollars, so it made the most money. Sometimes, like, NPD will go for, like, the total, number 1 will be total gross sales. So, like, for example, PS4 Pro is $400, so PS4 Pro can be above Switch in total because it gets more money, but below Switch in number of units. That wasn't the case here. Switch was the number 1 earner and also number 1 in unit sales. Annual unit and dollar sales of the Nintendo Switch are the highest annual total for any hardware platform since the PlayStation 4 in 2015. So it is essentially selling very well. Blah, blah. Console hardware unit and dollar sales reached their highest annual totals since 2009, just in general. And keep in mind, this is just a Twitter thread from Matt Piscatella. from the NPD group in general that he'll tweet out pretty much every month. This is longer than normal because it's kind of the end of the year wrap up. But Smash Bros. Ultimate was 2018's best-selling game on Switch. For point of reference, Mario Kart 8 was number 2, Odyssey was number 3, Breath of the Wild was number 4, and Super Mario Party was number 5. I think it probably came out in October, but I think Super Mario Party is the best-selling Mario Party game. Mario Party 8 might have outsold it because that was like early Wii when that shit was crazy, but it's Super Mario Party's done very, very well. So yeah, I thought that's all cool. I'm always down for more numbers. I like big lists. And it's cool also, like the total year sales. So like in the top 20, like Dragon Ball FighterZ is number 17 on the list. Super Mario Party is number 19. GTA 5 is number 11. So like it's really cool to see Dragon Ball FighterZ in like the top 20 best-selling games in North America. Just total. So that's really cool. But yeah, keep in mind this is just reflective of North America where we are. So this isn't complete global world domination, but it is indicative of the market that we were in. And obviously, I think the USA is the biggest singular country because like Europe kind of gets bundled together in a lot of cases as far as like the video game marketplace. So video games out there doing good. And Dragon Ball FighterZ sold well, not Bashin. I'd bet they're gonna make another one of those Dragon Ball games at some point. Other news,
We'll do another season now. So
yeah.
we'll see.
Speaking of which, other news is they announced the season 2 characters. Is that all of them? These 4 that they announced? Or is that only
No,
half?
that's
of
not
them?
all.
Yeah.
The first 2 are the ones that are coming out January 31st, and
Nice.
like the last 2 are what's the end of the DLC. It's like the spoiler. You look forward to these 2 characters at the very end.
Okay. So there's gonna be characters between those 2 groups.
Yes, I believe 4.
Okay, cool. What are those characters for my point of reference, option?
But in between,
What are the characters that they announced as like the next DLC? The ones we know about right now for Dragon Ball FighterZ.
we have Jiren. He's the alien guy, the big, not really big bad, but like the main fighting force from Dragon Ball Super. Determine the power. So that's your reference for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And he's released the same day as Videl as well. And Videl is she works kind of similar to like Android 18, where like she has like Great Saiyaman as her partner as she fights.
Cool.
So like he'll do the beam stuff while she does the frontal attacks and flies through the air and stuff like that. So it's really cool stuff. You should watch the trailer if they ever release it. And like the last bits of the DLC, they'll be the last ones they put out after like the other 4 characters will be Broly from Super Saiyan Broly, then or Dragon Ball Super Broly, the movie that just released, and the Super Saiyan blue version of Gogeta.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And it's like regular Broly. It's not Super Saiyan Broly. So, although I don't even know if he goes like regular Super Saiyan in that movie at all. I assume.
Watch the movie and find out.
Yeah, I should. I tried to find a place to watch it, and there's like nowhere nearby for me to watch it. Is it on digital platforms at all yet?
No.
Okay. Because I know sometimes they'll do just like a week in theaters, and then it'll just be out there to watch. Scott White saw it. He said it was very good. But yeah, I thought Videl is such a great pick. It's exactly like, again, our system works clearly like they like Dragon Ball a lot. And I think like they made that game as good as they did because they like the source material a lot. And Videl is like the kind of character that people who care about Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z would pick. And that's really cool. So I'm excited. I gotta find that trailer and watch it. But I think that is it for news. That's all I pulled. I think there was some other stuff. I I know like the input boys talked about Randy Pitchford and whatnot. So if you really want to hear them go off on Randy Pitchford, from what I understand, they went off. They also they did an episode on the Epic Games Store, which is very cool. Because like I don't know if you heard, like there's some wild stuff happening with Epic Games Store. Like Division 2 is going to be exclusive to the Epic Games Store, which is wild. But that's enough about news. You guys want to take a peek in the mail sack? Answer some questions? I think so. Let's hop in there. Remember, you can be a part of the show. You, listener, person listening or watching, or listening. You can be a part of the show. Tweet your questions at IrrationalPod with the hashtag IPQ. You can also send us an email, mailsack@irrationalpodcast.com. Or leave us a voicemail at 404-590-1337. And we got some questions this week. I also want to say thank you to everybody who submitted for the editorial application to join the IrrationalPodcast.com writing team. We got a lot of submissions. They closed yesterday. And I'm thankful. Only one person gave a shitty response, so I'll color that to be pretty good odds. And I've stalled for time for too long. I have to find these questions now. God damn it. I had it up a second ago. I fucked it up. There we go. First question comes from Jake P47, who is my brother on the Kingdom Hearts limited edition run over the Three Best Friends cast. We played through all of the Kingdom Hearts games last year and talked about them in order. You should go listen to those if you haven't already. He says, last night NXT TakeOver was presented by Kingdom Hearts 3. Did you ever think we'd be in a world where that phrase would ever be said? No. What is the NXT TakeOver?
Wrestling thing, right?
It's a wrestling thing, I think. From what I understand.
I've been way too disattached from wrestling that I don't know exactly what it is.
Okay. I mean, that's probably for the best, notwithstanding. You gotta, yes, keep yourself sane, right? Keep yourself happy. No, I didn't think Kingdom Hearts would be presenting a wrestling event ever in my life, I'll be honest. But hey, like, not that I'm upset. Whatever, man. Whatever, more power to you.
I mean, whatever. They had Glover present a wrestling event.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'll send you the clip right now.
Oh, I need that in my life for sure. Fuck. I played so much Glover as a kid. So much. I don't think I ever got past the first stage. Because that game is garbage. But I distinctly remember many things about it. I remember using a Game Shark to hack myself into the final level because I would never beat it. MC Wright at Shibs42, SHIBBS 42. Also, the other host on the limited edition Kingdom Hearts cast. What is the next huge, long-awaited game in a series now that Kingdom Hearts 3 is upon us? And why is it always Zelda? Tony, do you have any like long-running franchise thing that you're looking forward to?
3.
What did you say now? You got cut out a little bit.
Half-Life 3.
Oh, there you go. No, that dream is dead.
Portal.
Portal 3?
That was pretty lit.
That would be pretty lit. Dota 3?
No.
League of Legends 2?
It's not a franchise. But
It's a platform. Scott, what about you? Do you have like a franchise that you're very much ready for the next game in that franchise?
I see. You should be able to name this one, but it's been so long that you really wouldn't be able to.
Okay, what is it?
F-Zero.
F-Zero. Ooh, that is a good pick. Man, I feel like if you made a new F-Zero game and you just like put your heart and soul into it, you didn't necessarily do anything crazy or innovative, but like you just made a good sequel to like F-Zero GX on the GameCube, I think it would be fucking cool. I genuinely think that. Nabashin, what about you?
It's been pretty good for me as of late, honestly.
You're getting all the sequels.
all the stuff that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not really anticipating anything. I'm just whatever's next, just give it to me, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I think Tony, actually, for you would be Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's weird because it would probably be Metroid Prime 4, right? Like, that is because like I got Samus Returns and I was really happy with that. I'm like, you know, it's a 3DS game. I went out, I bought it, I spent the money on it. I'm like, I'm going to get this. I want this, and it was great. Like they did a genuinely great job making that game. And I'm ready for the next new Metroid game. It's not. I don't think it really counts because it's not a franchise, really. But I'm definitely like anticipating Splunky 2 for sure. Like, and Matt says like Zelda here, but like honestly, like I'm good with them taking their time with the next Zelda game, like whatever it turns out to be. Because I was like so happy with Breath of the Wild, and obviously like that took a lot of time. Like I feel like if they give that franchise like the space and time between entries that it needs, like those games are just going to be better for it. So I think that would just those games demand space and distance between each iteration for like them to make an impact. That being said, if they put out like a more simplified like 2D Zelda, maybe it's like a downloadable thing, I'd be way into that. But yeah, Metroid Prime 4, I am hotly anticipating. Cool. Those are the only questions that we got. But thank you for them. I very much appreciate it. Like I said, you can be a part of the show. Send us an email, send us some tweets, send us your voicemails if you'd like. Some other stuff, follow us on Twitter at Irrational Pod. See when all of our cool stuff will be going up and whatnot. I just saw that we tweeted out the trailer for the Kingdom Hearts Memories piece that Scott White has been working on. And he put way more work into the title and opening of that than I thought. He like made a whole logo and everything for it. So if you have not checked that out, at Irrational Pod on Twitter, Irrational Passions on Instagram. George Cruz runs both those accounts. He does a great job with both of them. Some other stuff, rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play or Spotify, wherever you listen to the show. It helps us a lot. Check out Input. Check out Video Game Book Club. Check out Raccoon City Radio. Andrew Taylor and I worked really hard on it. Specifically Andrew. It's got some cool music too. And for everything else, Irrational Passions, the website, irrationalpassions.com. Be excited. We got a new team member coming soon. I think we know who it's going to be.
It's me.
It's Tony. He was here all along. We just decided that we're going to make Tony in charge of everything.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know why this decision didn't come sooner.
Yeah, right. Finally. But we've reached the end of the show, Tony. You know what that means. You know what time it is.
Boy.
It's time for bets. This week's bet made by Brian Albertson Jackson, so I have not read this yet. Kingdom Hearts 3 releases Tuesday, January 29th. In the Easy Allies video review, how many times will Disney be used? This is a great fucking bet. I want you to know, Nabishin. I'm gonna DM Ben Moore and be like, add the counts. Count it up. It's actually probably gonna be Brad, but we'll see.
Probably Brad.
That's a good bet. Ooh, I don't know how many times. I'll read it one more time for you guys, just so people know. I guess we'll loop around to it in a second. Actually, we have new betting teams. Kingdom Hearts 3 releases Tuesday, January 29th. In the Easy Allies video review, how many times will Disney be used? Tony, what do you think?
7.
Ooh, that's good. I said 6. Scott, what do you think?
We're not doing the chat thing anymore?
I can't read it because it's on the computer.
Oh, okay.
What'd you say, Scott?
Well, I said 10.
Okay, no, I shouldn't say 10. Scott, round us out. Still thinking. I like it. Give it a...
Say it again?
Kingdom Hearts 3 releases Tuesday, January 29th. In the Easy Allies video review, how many times will Disney be used?
Twice.
Ooh, lowballing. I like it. That's possible. Any of these possible. I said 6. Tony said 7. Scott said 2. Nabishin said 10. So it's new year, new us, new betting teams. So Tony and I are on a betting team. Team about to bust a bet, which I love the name of. Nabishin, we did not pick a team name for you and Scott last week because you were not here. You had to leave early. Do you have any team name ideas? If you guys want to pitch them out to each other, now's the time to do it. While I look up last week's bet.
Not on the spot. I can't think of anything.
If you guys need more time, that's fine. Do you have any ideas, Scott?
No.
All right, you guys will maintain Team 2
Thumbs
until
up. Oh, I gotta fix it.
you guys think of some. I'll text you in the middle of the week to remind you. But I texted Tony a bunch of terrible team names that we went over last week. They're
pretty good.
Last week's bet. At the end of next podcast, I will search YouTube for Resident Evil 2 gameplay. I'm doing it in a private window. No bullshit. Resident Evil 2. God Christ. Gameplay. What will be the like to dislike ratio on the fourth video? It's not actually what I wrote. What will the like to dislike ratio on the fourth video be? I don't know. What is this like? Oh, those are just inserts. Okay. Resident Evil 2 Remake Walkthrough Gameplay Part 15 Laboratory RE2 Leon is the fourth video with 33,000 views. I said 4,600 to 106. Tony said 1,500 to 50. Scott said 4,000 to 820. And Nabishin said 1,000 to 365. The actual like to dislike ratio is 4,300 to 22, which means I guess I am the closest. Because, yeah. Scott, you were so close. If your dislikes were lower, maybe I guess like because your like is right in the right, like the actual likes is right between the two of us, but I am closer on the dislike ratio.
Right.
Oh man, that is very close though. I like how close that was. We were all pretty accurate bets, but that means Team Bet I Bust takes the first lead with 1 point.
1 point.
That's all we need. We're rock hard, Tony. That's all we need.
That's all we're gonna get.
Starting the, I bet we just lose every single bet from here on out.
NATO fails to double down every time.
No, NATO, we need you.
You know what the saddest part about this betting segment is for me?
What?
This is the segment where we choose team name, be an option, and I forgot what I had for a suggestion.
You had one last week.
It was good,
but we were like, let's wait until we have Nabishin here, and then we can pitch it out.
I said it, but I forgot already.
Okay, I'll look it up and I'll see if I can.
Whatever he said, I agree with it. Hopefully it's good.
Okay. Well, I'll see if I can go back and figure it out.
I mean, check it out because it should be near the end of the show.
Yeah. I mean, I put timestamps in for when each segment of the show is now, so I can just go right to the bet segment. So team about to bust a bet has 1 point. Team 2, currently unnamed, has 0 points.
When was the last time you liked a video?
We talked about this last week, actually.
Really?
Because that's a very good question. I think I asked Tony and Scott if they ever like videos. So I like every video from Game Grumps because I know it helps them. But I like videos constantly because I know, from what I understand, it does help the creators. So like Easy Allies, I'll like every time I finish a like kind of funny in review or whatever, which mostly the only show of theirs that I still watch, but I'll like it. So yeah, I like videos all the time. Do you never like videos, Navashin?
I never like videos.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
I support them. I support them by giving them money. So
Yeah, that's
it works
fair.
out.
Do you do the subscriptions on YouTube at all?
Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Actually helped them as well was being part of YouTube Red or whatever.
I believe they get like more. They get some of the revenue that we put in as YouTube Red or YouTube Premium subscribers. Excuse me. Our views like count for more, I think, for them.
Okay.
Technically, and I think if you watch their premium series, like that, those like have more weight or something. Honestly, if the subscription model, like, so you can subscribe to a YouTube channel, I think it's like $5. If you got no ads on that channel, I would do it. Like, I would just subscribe to Game Grumps and subscribe to Easy Allies or whatever, and like that's it. But no, you still get ads even if you're subscribed to a channel, which I think is stupid. So I just got YouTube Premium instead. I don't necessarily want to drop $15 a month on just YouTube, subscribing to that and like Game Grumps or whatever, but I would.
How's that ad-free life though?
Oh, God, dude.
It's
Yeah, so like here's another thing about YouTube Premium.
shout out to Frank, by the way.
Frank Bazzani?
Yeah, because he was on that train.
With you?
I think yeah, like when I started YouTube Red, like no, I think he was on before me, and he got me to actually be in this ad-free life. So
yeah, I mean,
I've been loving it.
Ad-free life, like when I went ad-free on Hulu, when I still use Hulu, I was like, this is a game changer. And I don't know why I didn't think to just do that for YouTube, because it's the thing I fucking use every day. But other thing that I've been using, because I went flying today for the first time since I've become a premium subscriber. You can download videos to your device. I was like, awesome. Like, there's this easy update that I can watch on the plane ride home, and then I watch the Hall of Greats on my plane ride to Florida, because I'm like, when will I have time to watch this before like the Easy Allies move into their studio? And I want to be there for it, but it feels weird to not watch the last. I'm like you now, you get me. But we're just weird. All right, it's fine. But like, you know, being able to just download a video to your device, you can do it to your computer or to your phone. If you have premium, it's like, that's so smart. It's stupid that that's locked behind a paywall as well, but whatever. Here we are. It's still probably a little too expensive per month. But,
100%.
but it is it's worth it. They got me. You got me, Google. This is not an advertisement. I'll say maybe don't spend that money because it's too expensive. But if you want to live a free, liberated life, maybe do it because it's great. It's so great. Honest to God, the amount of time that I save not watching ads on YouTube is like probably multiple hours a month. So it is significant. That's the end of the show. Thank you, everyone, for listening. For everyone watching, sorry I typically have the chat up throughout most of the show, and people have been hanging out in there. But thank you to everyone watching live. Somebody we got a few new subscribers from Scott's stream, and somebody asked like, what's this podcast about? It's about video games. And they said, video games obviously, but how would you, I would say, pitch this show? 4 friends talking about video games, mostly talking about what they've been playing, maybe some news, making dumb bets and answering questions, just hanging out. Just a 2-hour hangout sesh with your video game buds. That's what I would say.
Boys.
Your video game boys. Yes, we have a lot of testosterone on this podcast, but
Several.
But this is a safe space and everyone is welcome here. So
I mean, like, I disagree about that first part personally. Just saying.
Fair enough. Thank you everyone for watching, for tuning in. Thank you to everyone that's supported us and been kind to us. Thank you to Danny Wiesner for our opening music of 2-Player Co-op and our closing music of The World is Saved. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Nabishin, for joining me as always. I love you guys. Big hugs all the way around. I've been your host.
You exit for that?
I thought like, no, New Year, because I came up with that one in 2018. I'm thinking on it. If I think of a good one, I'll bring it in. I haven't thought of one yet, though. I've been your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your games, stay irrational. We will talk to you all next week after Kingdom Hearts comes out.
Except for me, I won't be here.
You'll be here, Tony.
I won't be here. I refuse.
We're not going to talk about the whole show. Just,
Yeah, you say that.
I mean, we're going to talk about it, though. Titles?
Titles. We have light stretching. He's not a whole person. He needs me.
Oh.
Fire Tony from the podcast. It's fucked up. Gotta love the glove and that ad-free life.
Gotta love the glove. I love it. I love the glove. And I love the glove title. What do you like, Tony?
All of them except for the one firing.
Did you hear that part when I said, now that Tony's gone?
Nope.
Okay, good. I said, now that Tony's gone, and Navshin's like, what? You want to talk about getting rid of Tony? We're in the middle of a fucking podcast. So affronted for you. I was just like, no, I want to talk about Kingdom Hearts now.
Okay, I was just like, we're in the middle of the podcast. Wait for after.
Of those four that you like, Tony, you got to pick one.
Why?
Because I would like you to.
Fire Tony from the podcast.
There it is.
I like light stretching.
That's a good one. That's a good Tony bit. Scott, what do you like?
Glover.
Fuck yeah, dude. Nabishin, what do you like?
Sure.
Gotta love the glove, baby. I'll say the title. Somebody say the number. It's 410. Also, congrats on 410. Just saying, 10 weeks from now will be 420. And I need you guys to start preparing. Whatever paraphernalia you need to get, whatever illicit substances you need to acquire. I'm just kidding. Whenever whoever is ready. I'll let y'all decide. All right, maybe I should just pick for you. Tony, you say the number. It's episode 410.
This is the Irrational Passions podcast, episode 410.
Gotta love the glove. I love that. It's such a good energy. Navashin. Thank you everybody for watching. Just remember, next time you see us, we'll all be different. I'm just gonna make it the most dramatic thing in the world. Bye everybody.